Hello, hello, it's Sunday. It's not quite noon yet, and I've come on today. The title of this is "Are You Torn?" And it's it's a little bit of a deep one, but stick with it because hopefully, if anything, it will just make you think. We are where we are. You know, we're in a space right now where our foundations have been rocked, haven't they, with the whole coronavirus thing, the whole, stay at home and furloughed, and, our foundations have been rocked, and these foundations of what have kept us grounded and centred to a certain degree. And what's interesting is I've just done a live in my group for essential oils talking about anxiety, and this is a key thing that's come up a lot recently with people is anxiety, because they're anxious. They're anxious about their future. But they don't know what it means at the moment, and some people are just really grateful that they're in a job. It doesn't even matter what the job is. They're just grateful that they've got some income. And it's really interesting because it puts you in a space of, I think personally, of a false sense of security, to be quite honest, because yes, you're grateful, and you should always be grateful for your blessings without a shadow of a doubt. But are you just settling? Are you just settling in this space of gratitude because you're in this false sense of security? Because you've got something that's going to pay your bills, but in 5 years' time, that may not be the case. You don't know what's going to happen with these organisations, right? So, sorry, I was inviting people. So, hello, welcome. I'm doing this 5-day challenge, and I know I keep talking about it, but I'm really excited about it. And I want to talk a little bit about why I'm so excited about it and why I want to do this, right? Because I mean, you probably think, well, why should I bother to commit, 5 hours of my time? Because that's what it will amount to, around 5 hours of your time, because it's Monday through to Friday, and it is for 1 hour a day at 7 p.m. So why should you bother, really? Well, just think about it this way, there are so many reasons why you should bother. Because of this false sense of security, it's that very thing that you need to be addressing. Now we have one life. We have one life. That's a fact. That is a fact. And throughout our lives, we are conditioned to follow a path. And sometimes it's a path we don't even want to go down, but we just do it because we're expected to. We're expected to do that, And this path has been set by our ancestors, it's been set by our family conditioning, the culture of our family, even down to our schooling, We are told at school that you have to get your grades so that you can either go to university or get a good job. You're told this, you're told that's your path. And even the corporate training you go through as part of a cultural induction, it doesn't matter what organisation you're working in, there will be a cultural corporate conformity that you need, you should be, or you're expected to become part of, And the key thing about all of this is you don't have to do it. You absolutely don't have to do it because you have a choice. Now, I did some research before about how many people actually fulfilled their childhood dream and became what that thing was, that thing that they wanted to be. And it was absolutely quite outstanding that it was a very small percentage. Why? Because life got in the way. Life gets in the way. This condition that you are, it's like you're put onto a little train when you're a kid, and you just go through this I don't know, it's like train stations. Every time you get to a train station, you're taught another part of conditioning, and another part of how you must be, and another part of how you must conform, and another part of what your world should look like, and another part of what you can do and can't do. And it's absurd, because it doesn't have to be like that, you know, because as I said, we always have this choice. Always. We always have a choice. And the thing is we tend not to implement our true choices because we either don't know how to do it, we think it's just a dream, you feel you're not worthy of it, or you don't deserve it, or you don't want to upset the apple cart because you don't want to be judged. You don't feel comfortable that you can take your foot outside of that structure that you're conditioned in to follow, because all of a sudden you're in this unknown space. At least when you're in that structure, you're in something that's familiar to you, so it all feels certain. But it's a false sense of security. It's actually an illusion, because what you're doing is you're following the expectations of other people. You're actually not following yourself. You're not following your truth. And I'm a fine example of this. So when I was growing up, I was always told that I was the brainy one of the family. And it was always drummed into me, I was the brainy one of the family. I was the brainy one of the family. Till eventually I pushed myself to go off and get a degree when I was a single parent. I went off the rails a little bit because my grades started to drop and I wasn't the brainy one of the family anymore, and I didn't know where I belonged, and I got all confused with it, and I went off and ended up being a single parent at 19. But then I pushed myself and went to university because I thought I must follow this through. I must be this brainy one in the family. And then I went off 10 years later and got myself a master's degree in healthcare because I'm the brainy one of the family. Now, I'm not saying I regret doing those things, because I am so blessed and grateful that I managed to go through that process. But what I'm trying to say to you is, if no one had said to me right at the beginning in my childhood that I was the brainy one of the family, would I have followed that path? Would I have actually gone through the education system like that? Maybe not, you know? And it's the same with my old job that I used to do. So I've left management consultancy. I was doing management consultancy work for the NHS and for local authority. And on the side, I've been doing my coaching work, my holistic therapies, and I was running the two alongside for a long time. And then when I moved 70 miles away from everything I'd known. So I was really, really not in my comfort zone at all. I was in a place of true uncertainty, because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I wasn't sure which way I was going. And what transpired for me was all those years I'd driven myself to get to board level, because I was at board level at one point there. All those years I'd driven myself to get there, it actually wasn't what I wanted at all. It wasn't who I was. They weren't true choices that I was making. I was living a life because I was expected to. And I was living up to this expectation of my family and my mum and my dad. And once I realised this, I have transitioned fully into being totally committed to my holistic therapy work and my mindset and resilience coaching work, because it's my true passion. And I know it's my true passion because just talking about it brings joy to me. And going back to this childhood dreams, when I was a child, I wanted to be a beautician. Now, when you're a child, you don't understand about spirituality and the connection between mind, body, spirit. So all I saw was, you know, this kind of this beauty side to it, you know. And as I've grown as an individual, I've obviously got to learn that there's more to life than, you know, just the beauty side of it. And yes, of course it makes you feel good if you get up and put your makeup on and do your hair and you wear your nice clothes and what have you. Of course it makes you feel good. But it's all, it's only a mask, isn't it? You know, your true feelings come from within you. And if you are following your true choices, your true choices of what you really want to do and where you really want to be, it shines out of you. It just shines out of you, you know? And And that's a little bit about, you know, how easy it is to get involved in this train of your destiny being mapped out for you, because you're on this train of other people's expectations and you fear getting off the next stop. But listen guys, this 5-day challenge is going to help you to get some clarity on what your true desires are. Okay, we're going to do an exercise on that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to align you to that so you can feel like you've already got it. Because that's so key. It's really key. And I did some research this morning, and I'm just going to tell you about this because it's really important. So there's this Nobel Prize winner, okay, because everybody thinks, oh, we need to earn loads of money and that will make us happy. But listen to this. There's this Nobel Prize winner, he's an economist called Angus Deaton, right? And he works for the Centre of Health and Wellbeing at Princeton University. So it is an American study, but even so. And he said once your income exceeds 75k, that's in dollars, per year, your day-to-day experience doesn't improve much as your income grows. Now think about that. Think about that, yeah? So you could have 75k, or you could have 100k, you could have 2 million. But it's not going to change your day-to-day experience, and it's not going to change your day-to-day how you feel about it. Yeah? So this is where you have to think about your true choices. And this is when you need to think about, are you satisfied with your accomplishments? And if you're not, it's because you're not doing what you truly desire to do. And it's all attainable. It's all achievable if you have the right structure in place and the right support around you. So another reason why people don't fulfill their dreams is because, like I've said, is they're not aligned to their goals. They're not aligned to it. Yeah? And that work that Angus Deaton done says it. It's the satisfaction about how you feel about your accomplishments which is more important. So let me leave this with you for a second. You cannot grow a tree of abundance if you keep planting seeds of scarcity. I'm going to say that again. You cannot grow a tree of abundance if you keep planting seeds of scarcity. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So listen guys, come along, have some fun with this, yeah? It will be fun. All you've got to do is show up, yeah? Join the group. I'll put the group in the link to the group in the comments. Join the group, show up, be present, totally present when you do show up, yeah? And just play full out and have fun with it, because it will surprise you. It will surprise you. And on that note, have a fantastic day, and let's do this. Let's do this. It's going to be fun. Take care now. Bye.